Here's how to get ahead of 99% of affiliates in just 12 weeks. So in this week's episode, just an overview, we're going to go over how to get results as fast as possible because everyone's interested in this question. So I'm just going to answer that straight up. Next, I'm going to share the only 2 ingredients you need to succeed in affiliate marketing. And lastly, I'm going to share with you a real simple 12-week plan to get ahead of 99% of affiliates. How you can get more done in just 12 weeks that takes most beginners anywhere from 1 to 2 years. So let's get started. So first, let's just bring up some common misconceptions with affiliate marketing. The first thing is that affiliate marketing is not rocket science. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. It's not a mystery what a successful affiliate business looks like, because chances are you look at 6 and 7 figure affiliate businesses every single day. If you watch YouTube for hours every single day like me, you've probably seen what a 6 or 7 figure affiliate business may look like. Any influencer or just any big brand or channel that has affiliate links, that has basically referral codes, use my code, use my link. You're seeing affiliate marketing in action. It's everywhere. Anytime they say use my Amazon affiliate link, you're seeing affiliate marketing. Now, when you search something on Google and when you see these sites that are getting anywhere from the hundreds of thousands to the millions of visits per month, you're seeing affiliate marketing, you're seeing ad revenue, you're seeing just basically what successful online businesses look like. So it's not a mystery, despite there being so much noise online about what to do and, basically people telling you all sorts of different things. At the end of the day, it's all going to end up in the same place realistically. So secondly, quality is evergreen. Most people are focused on quantity. That's why with all of these AI, blog writing posts and everything, people, publishing hundreds of posts every single month, people are focused on quantity. They're not focused on quality. Quality is actually your business's moat. And the last thing is the biggest struggle after launching your business, which most people don't even get around to actually doing because they're afraid, is simple daily consistency, which is what the 12-week plan is aiming to fix. So how to get results as fast as possible. So let's just answer this straight up. There's 2 ways to get results as fast as possible. Everyone's talking about, I want to make 10K a month in 3 months or whatever. So here's the first way to do that. Make 0 mistakes, have the highest quality content possible, and publish 1 to 3 times per week without missing a single week for 1 year. Taking the hardest path now means a much, much easier time in the future. Again, quantity is what everyone is focused on, all these newbies who are trying to take the lazy, easy route out, but the actual most efficient path is to basically have the highest quality. Now, the second way to get results as fast as possible is to make every single mistake in the book through guessing and trial and error, fix each one of those mistakes, vow to never make it again, and just never quit. Okay? This is just logically the only ways to do it. It's either you're perfect or you're imperfect and you find a way to get closer to perfection. Okay? But, that said, nobody's going to be perfect. So it's probably going to be somewhere in between. That's going to be our journey here. Okay, now let's jump into the 2 essential ingredients that you need for a successful affiliate business. And one thing that is bothering me is how convoluted everything is online when it comes to affiliate marketing. So let's try and simplify things as much as possible. The first ingredient that you absolutely need is speed. There's a saying, money loves speed. Okay, so most of you are moving way too slow, not because you can't do more, but because you are really inefficient with your time, the little time that you have. And at the end of the day, we all have the same constraints. Nobody has 24 hours, typically to just work on this thing. Most of us have full-time jobs, whether you're a full-time student, you have other responsibilities and obligations to take care of. We are all constrained for time. So the key is you have to make sure that you make the most out of the time that you are allotted each day. So just to make this super clear, if someone creates 16 blog posts in 1 month, which is something that I'm able to do part-time as I was working on a case study, that this usually takes other people 4 to 16 months to do 16 blog posts. Think about it. If someone does 1 blog post per week consistently, it's going to take them 4 months to do 16 posts. Okay. Now, some people are a lot slower than one per week every single week. Some people will do one post per month, and that's going to take you 16 months, over a year, so a year and a half to, basically do what can take someone just one single month. All right, so get that through your head. If you want to consolidate the timeline and you want results faster, you need to do more in a short amount of time. It's simple as that. Now, how can you improve your speed? So the first thing you can do is you can block social media on your phone with an app like Opal. There's also apps for the computer to block certain sites during, certain time blocks and certain hours. Or you can just put your phone in another room entirely, which I, recommend. Honestly, just get rid of the problem and eliminate those distractions. Use Perplexity AI for research and learning instead of Google, because Perplexity AI just helps you to just get the kernel of truth instead of having to go through, millions of blogs just to figure out just, little things. Next, have less moving parts in your workflow. Always reduce the amount of time that you're wasting. So one clear example here is when I'm doing this case study and really growing basically this affiliate website, I'm only using two tools. I'm using the tool for the website, and I'm using Keywords Everywhere for the keyword research and for the SEO. I'm not using 12 different tools and trying to put them all together, because it's just wasting my time. Okay, now I will say that because I have some knowledge and some experience, I can skip using some other, softwares, because some of that stuff is just intuitive at this point. That said, you just don't need as much things as you think you need. It's just mind-boggling to me how many beginners are looking for that one tool or that one tip or that one trick that's just magically going to build their business. It really just boils down to the core business itself, such as the content and the quality. So next, create a working template, reuse it, improve it. For me, I never start from scratch. Once I've created that first kind of post, you clone it, you copy and paste it, and then you try and make it better moving forward each time, so that every time you click clone or you copy and paste, it's going to start at that baseline and you're just going to improve. Never start from complete scratch if you've already made posts before and you know what works. Lastly, you need to have a plan to avoid wasting downtime. So you always hear take action, but I think that if you just mindlessly take action but you don't have a plan, it's hard to stick with it and it's hard to have consistency. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about the second essential ingredient that you need, which is direction. So those are the two ingredients: speed and direction. Now, all the speed in the world is useless without direction. Okay, because you could be going the wrong way. And if you have all the speed and you're going the wrong way, then you'll never end up in your destination where you want to be, your long-term goal. So how do you ensure proper direction? First, follow a proven blueprint and framework. Okay, for me, I use the same framework every single time that I build an affiliate business, an affiliate website, whatever. I just follow the same thing because I already know that it works. Now, in the beginning, you're going to have some failures and you're going to pick up on all those mistakes, and you're going to make sure that when you try again the second, the third, the fourth time, your chances of success, they raise in terms of the percentage, right? Because you're not going to make those same mistakes that you made the first, second, third time. Okay. Now, the second thing to ensure proper direction is get feedback. Please get actionable feedback on your business. So in the past couple weeks, I've reviewed a few websites and YouTube channels in our paid Discord community. And today I'm going to be looking at another YouTube video and another website from our members. And getting feedback is really a missing ingredient that so many of you watching this are completely missing. Because when you are working on your business, you work in a vacuum. You work in this silo where you're guessing. Honestly, you don't know how your website really looks or how it really feels to a visitor, because it's not like people are showing up to your website and then filling out your comment box or your contact us and saying, hey, here's how you can improve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, nobody's doing that. And chances are nobody's even visiting your website to begin with. So it's really hard to get feedback in the beginning. But if you want to improve faster, get feedback, because I'm telling you, like in 5 minutes, I can tell you what is working and what will never work. So we had a website like that was in the Discord where, they were using a lot of AI content, and I could just tell, at a glance what they were doing wrong. And all the things that I said are the exact reasons that Google AdSense denied them. So it's like I could tell you in 5 minutes things that will save you months, if not years, of going in the wrong direction and frustration. And lastly, proper direction means you're always improving your quality and your skills. Your content and your videos, whatever it is, it's going to suck in the beginning, okay? That's why you have to at least get something out into the world, because the sooner you get something out, version 1.0, we can improve it and make version 2, version 3, version 4. If you're just in your head, you haven't launched anything, or you're not constantly improving from post to post to post or video to video, then that's another way to ensure you're not going in the right direction, because you could just be spinning your tires for a long time. So let's talk about the 12-week plan. So the reason why I came up with this is because I've been reading a book called The 12-Week Year, and it inspired me because the essential concept is that we should just plan out in 12-week increments, because a year is too long, right? In January, everybody has New Year's resolutions that by December they've just completely forgotten about. But 12 weeks is a lot easier to control. It's a lot easier to see 12 weeks ahead versus 12 months ahead. And what I love about this is it gives us a really clear vision and insight into, what should we be working on every single day, every single week, so that we can get to our goals. So I have an example 12-week plan right here in this spreadsheet on Google Sheets. And this is actually the exact format that I'm using for my own business and my personal life. And I'm just going to walk you through this right here. And I actually did come up with an example sample plan for how you can get ahead of 99% if you do these things. And when I was making this plan, I realized how powerful this was, because most beginners, they have zero plan. They're just guessing, and they don't even know what they should be working on. And you never want to go into a business not knowing what you should be working on for the day and just guessing and saying, okay, I feel like doing this, I feel like doing that. It's not about what you feel like doing. It's about what are the things that are measurably going to get me closer to my goals. So let's start with the left-hand side here. So on the left-hand side, you have goals. Now, here, the first goal I have is launch the business and get first affiliate sale. The other two goals are a little more fuzzy because in this beginning stage, you don't really have concrete goals. I'd say if you have a more established business, then you can have more numerical values tied to these. So for example, scale my business to $10,000 a month, something like that. But the truth is, goals are aspirational. They're things that you do not control. Now, what I like is in this next column right here, next to goals, is tactics. So our 3 goals, the big goals, are launch the business and get the first affiliate sale. Okay. 2 is just to improve, like speed and direction, just to improve. 3 is learning and strategy, which also ties in with the basically the speed and direction sort of formula. So those are the 3 big goals, but the next column next to it is tactics. These are the things you're actually going to do to get to your goal, because one thing that bothers me about beginners is that they're good at setting these kind of like arbitrary goals of I want to make this amount of money per month, but they're not good at the tactics. They're not good at, okay, what's actually going to move the needle to get me there? So here are things on tactics that are going to move the needle. So let's start with the first goal. If you want to launch your business and get the first affiliate sale, then, well, first of all, let's start with week 1. And you see in the column next to the tactics is we have the week that it's due. So this gives deadlines. Deadlines are important because if you don't have a deadline, then, just like with homework, you're going to just procrastinate till the very end. But if you have no deadline period ever, you may just never finish it, right? So here in week due, you can either have the deadline for which week this task or the tactic is due, but then you can also just say each week if it's something you should be doing repeatedly. So let's start with week 1. Choose a profitable niche, buy a domain, launch your website, connect Google Search Console. Week 1. That's honestly, most beginners, they can spend 12 whole weeks just on this simple step right here. Okay. They will spend 12 weeks mulling over a niche, buying a domain, launching the site, making it pretty, getting it all set up with coming soon. Look, that stuff does not matter. And one of the biggest mistakes is when beginners think that when they launch their site, like everyone's going to be beating a path to their door. That is dead wrong. Nobody cares about your site. Even people who are trying to get exposure on not just their website, but social media, they struggle to get views and to get traffic. So, honestly, get out of your own head, get something launched, get version 1.0 up so we can critique it, we can roast it, and you can make version 2 as soon as possible. Next, week 2. Spend 1 week researching ideas and performing keyword research. Honestly, it doesn't even take that long, but during that week, I would be looking on both YouTube and online and using tools like Keywords Everywhere, and I'll have more videos that are more step-by-step that are like screen share, doing all of these things. But just for this video, this is just the overall plan. Now, after you do that, week 1 and 2, you have your site launched, you have ideas for what to write about or what to make videos about. Time to get into the consistency week to week. Publish 1 high quality YouTube video per week, every single week. Publish 1 high quality blog post per week. So this is what I would do. If you're not doing YouTube, I would aim to do 2 to 3 blog posts per week. I mean, if you can do 7, do 7. Like the more you do, just like I was saying earlier, if I could do 16 posts in 1 month and that takes someone else 4 months, just think about consolidating the timeline, the time horizon to where you're doing 4 months worth of work in 1 month. Imagine you did that every single month. Okay. You're going to do someone's whole entire year in just 3 months. Okay. People want results fast, but when it comes time to actually put in the work, they're not putting in the work that is basically deserving of getting these results. Now, the next thing, and this one's pretty cool, I think create 5 to 10 Pinterest pins per video / post, linking to that post. This is something that I learned recently is with Pinterest, you can make unlimited number of pins for a single, that all link to the same thing. Whereas with other social media, you don't do that. You just do like 1 tweet for 1 blog post. You're not gonna do like 10. So I think that that's interesting about Pinterest. It's kind of like the more, the merrier, and it's just more chances, right? Then repost on Twitter with the relevant hashtags. You can do that each week. So basically reposting the content. Now that's just goal number 1. Now think about this. If you actually followed through on this for 12 weeks, good things are going to happen. Okay. The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get because you have a plan. And this plan is so focused on effort and action that something is going to move the needle. We may not know exactly which one of these is going to be the highest sort of ROI yet, but if you do all of these things, you bet something's going to happen after 12 weeks. Now let's move on to the second goal, which is improve. So starting with review your content up to this point and brainstorm ways to improve by looking at competitors. So I'd say each week you take time, you set it aside, you look critically at all of your stuff, whether it's blog posts, videos, you kind of review the film and you really try and be critical of your own stuff. It's hard. A lot of us, we kind of give ourselves a pass. Some people are more lenient than others. Some are more critical than others if you're kind of like a perfectionist. But either way, you need to put on those glasses and you need to figure out how can we do better. Okay. Now the next thing is check your analytics daily on Google Search Console, Google Analytics, or whatever website analytics you have on your your dashboard, your site, and then YouTube Analytics. Look for any insights. There's a lot that data can teach you, and for my mentorship and my coaching, I typically get a lot from analyzing Google Search Console of my students' websites, and there's a lot of opportunities there. Next, get your daily screen time down to just 2 hours a day. Again, cutting down that social media. We're trying to get this done by week 2. So, in the first 2 weeks, we're trying to actively break down that screen time so that we can focus on more speed, because the less hours we spend on TikTok, the more hours we spend on our business. Great. So the next thing is audit how long each step of the content creation process takes and brainstorm ways to reduce it. Do this in the first month by week 4. So once you start to get into a rhythm, and hopefully by now you have, maybe 3 or 4 YouTube videos or posts up, examine how long does it take me to write this script or to write the outline? How long does it take me to, research? How long does it take me to actually write the post, like start to finish? And, for me, for example, maybe it takes 4 hours to do a 2,000 word post start to finish. So when I'm auditing how long something takes, I want to look at each component of that content creation process. How can we expedite that faster? How can we remove a step? How can we just get 4 hours down to 2 hours per 2,000 word post, right? And again, this is why so many people are losing so much productivity, is because they're taking way too long to create something like a simple blog post, or even the YouTube video will take so much time in the beginning, but you'll get faster at video editing. You'll learn keyboard shortcuts. And then lastly, get actionable feedback on your website and YouTube channel by week 8. So after the first 2 months. Now, from a perspective of, being a mentor, it's better if you have stuff to work with, like you have 8 weeks worth of posts, you have 8 weeks, like 8 different videos, or you have 8 to 12, blog posts to look at. Because first of all, you're going to have to make a lot of mistakes in the first sort of videos or blog posts. And obviously, the sooner that you correct them, the faster you're going to get results, the faster you're going to just get to that point where you are at a competitive quality wise, level, versus fumbling around for like a year because you still have terrible thumbnails, your content sucks. Like, it's just, if you get feedback, then you can improve that much faster. Now, the reason why I say like get this feedback a little bit later, not in the very, very beginning, is because you need to get to a level where we can work with your stuff. If you have no data on Google Search Console because you literally launched your site like a week ago, then there's not much we can take from that. There's not much insights. If you have 8 weeks worth of data, 12 weeks worth of data, that's a lot more that we can work with. And the more data that you have, the more confident we can be about, okay, is this signal that we need to move in this direction? But if you're just starting out, just you still need to just focus on kind of getting that beginning out of the way where you're still figuring things out, right? Now let's move on to the third goal, which is learning and strategy. So most people have this completely upside down. They're spending the majority of their time on learning and strategy and all these like theoretical things, and they're spending the least amount of time on action. That's why the first goal is to get launched and then to get into a consistent weekly rhythm of publishing and improving. Okay, now the very last thing is learning. Why is that last? So at the end of the day, when you launch something and you finally have something live, you don't need that much time to actually learn and to research, because you're learning on the job and you learn through doing. So I say you should research your current business problems for 1 hour per day max. This isn't like 1 hour minimum you should spend on YouTube and on Googling things. I'm saying you should spend 1 hour limit, because what most people are doing is they're spending like 8 hours learning, listening to audiobooks and podcasts and whatever. You don't need to be doing all that if you're actually doing stuff, because when you're doing stuff, you will know what you need. You'll know what your business lacks when you have something that's live. Okay, because for example, let's say you start YouTube and you start realizing like, hey, I'm wasting a lot of time editing and my editing is not that good. Okay, maybe I should go find a course on how to edit YouTube videos like a pro. You know what I mean? So you spend 1 hour per day max researching your current business problems. Okay. Next, buy a book on mindset, productivity, or a specific skill you need to improve. This ties in with, again, like if you need a course on something like video editing, invest into that course. Dedicate 30 minutes of learning per day. If you buy a book, you have to buy a book. Read at least 10 pages per day. Okay, that will get you through most books in about a month, 300 pages in a month. And you're going to do this every single day, but we're going to limit the time that we're spending just watching YouTube for hours, because watching YouTube is not the same as getting things done. And then lastly, again, investing into a course or finding a mentor at week 12, by the end of this 12-week plan, that's a time where you have something in hand that you can bring to someone and you can say, hey, I've been working on this for 3 months. I've been, improving steadily, but, I need to get that real feedback and I need something to take me to that next level. That is the perfect time when you should seek a mentor. One of the mistakes I think is if you just don't really have anything to work with, because beginner problems or beginner questions, they tend to be so vague and broad in the beginning because you just simply haven't gotten through, step A, B, C, D. Like once you've actually launched something, you've been doing something for 12 weeks, 24 weeks, and you have a lot of things live, you have a lot of data, and you've been improving yourself, it's much more impactful to have a mentor, to have someone look over your stuff and to tweak a few things that could double, triple your results. So that's basically it. I'm gonna try to share this Google Sheet, so you could just basically copy and paste this. This was just an example 12-week plan. I do recommend checking out the book 12-Week Year because it's been something that's been really illuminating. And I think that for most of us, if you've already launched, then the struggle is definitely going to be consistency. It's that daily consistency, and it's being flooded with distractions, and it's really just being able to keep up week to week, day to day. Because if you can figure out the daily consistency, trust me, like at the end of the year, January to December, you're going to be so much closer to your goals, if not having achieved them, if you can take care of the day. Whereas, I think, again, most people have it backwards. They're so focused on that year-long goal that they forget to work day to day. And, we're all a victim of this every once in a while. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got value from this, please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below letting me know what you think. Going to be working on actual step-by-step tutorials, screen share, everything soon, but just wanted to get this out there because honestly, the last thing I want to say is I do think that most of you, if you follow this 12-week plan and look at the tactics, these are things that most people are not doing. And if they're doing them, they're not doing them consistently every single week, week in, week out. I am confident that getting ahead of 99% is not that hard if you can be disciplined because of how lazy people are in our society these days with, again, all the AI crappy content and posts. Like, if you could just focus on doing the hard things and focus on quality instead of quantity, that instantly separates you from the crowd. And it's never been easier to be lazier than in 2024. And what I'm seeing, like hands-on, not just with my own results, but with my students, is those that are willing to work on it, willing to improve, they're coachable, and they're just willing to grind. Honestly, they're able to get results faster than honestly ever before, because there's so much noise in the market. So hope this was helpful for you, and hope you enjoy it. I have more videos if you want to check them out, but basically that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.